Hey friends, I am here to read the next couple of chapters of Dingoes at Dinnertime. I am outside in my yard, which is pretty cool. It is gorgeous outside. I hope that you all get a chance to come outside and play. It is really, really nice. So you may hear some nature sounds behind me. There's like birds and there's some chickens that live next door, so you might hear those. But anyway, let's get to chapter 3 of Dingoes at Dinnertime. Let's see. Oh yes, we left off chapter 3. We're reading is Bigfoot. We have to find out what's going on. The loud cry rang again through the dry air. Teddy barked. Jack and Annie turned around in the clearing. It was hard to tell where the sound was coming from. The terrible cackle came again. There, said Annie. She pointed at a bird in a gum tree. The bird had brown feathers and a large head with a long beak. Oh yes, now I remember. We saw this guy right here. We're wondering if that's who it is. Or maybe it's the bird in my yard right now. It stared down at Jack and Annie. Then it let out another cackle. Weird, said Jack. He found the bird in his book and read, "The kookaburra is the best known bird of Australia. There is even a popular song about it. The kookaburra is also called the laughing donkey." That's funny. This is because of the strange sound that it makes. It reminds people of a braying donkey. I know that song, said Annie. She began singing. Kookaburra sits on the old gum tree. Merry, merry king of the bush is he. Jack wrote in his notebook, Kookaburra, a big kook. Annie stopped singing. Hey, she said, there's another weird thing. Where? Said Jack. Annie pointed to a big bluish tan lump lying in a shallow dusty hole. Is it alive? Said Jack. They stepped closer to the big lump. It looks like it's breathing, said Annie. The lump was an animal lying on its back. Its paws were crossed over its chest. It had huge feet, large ears, a face like a deer's, and a very long tail. It also had a very big stomach. First, that's a picture of the kookaburra. And then, any ideas on what could have huge feet, large ears, a face like a deer's, and a very long tail? Just then, a small head peered out of its stomach. Whoa, said Annie. Oh, wow, it's a kangaroo with her baby in her pouch. There it is. It's a kangaroo. Great, said Jack. Remember, we have to get a gift from a kangaroo. Their voices woke the kangaroo. The animal jumped up from her shallow bed. She glared at Jack and Annie. Her baby peeked out of her pouch. The mother kangaroo gave an angry stamp. Oh, we're sorry, Annie said. We didn't mean to wake you up. The kangaroo eyed Annie curiously. Then she took a giant hop toward her. Copying the kangaroo, Annie hopped toward the big animal. Annie hopped. The kangaroo hopped again. The kangaroo and Annie began hopping around each other. They looked as if they were dancing. Jack couldn't believe how graceful the kangaroo was. She seemed to fly through the air, then land as softly as a butterfly. He looked up kangaroo in his book and read, "The kangaroo is the most famous of the marsupials. The female carries her baby known as a joey in her pouch. Scientists call the kangaroo a macropod, which means Bigfoot. Aha! And big feet help a kangaroo hop higher than any other animal in the entire world. With a running leap, a large kangaroo can jump over a school bus." That is amazing. Forget the hopping contest, Annie, Jack called. She can out-hop you by a mile. He pulled out his notebook and wrote, Kangaroo, Bigfoot, can jump over a school bus. The kangaroo began stamping her feet again. What's wrong? Said Annie. The kangaroo froze. Grrr. Teddy growled from Jack's backpack. Some nearby bushes moved. A moment later, 3 dogs crept silently into the clearing. They were sand-colored and mean-looking. Teddy growled once more. Yikes. Can you guys see that? Any ideas on what these dogs are? But the dogs crept toward the kangaroos, and suddenly the mother kangaroo sprang into the air away from the dogs. The dogs chased after her. "Stop!" cried Annie. "Stop! Leave her alone!" As the kangaroo jumped, she turned in midair and landed facing a different direction. She then zigzagged over rocks and bushes. Howling, the wild dogs raced after the kangaroo and her baby. Oh boy. Chapter 4 is called Joey. "Oh no," cried Annie. "We have to save her." She took off after the dogs. "Arf, arf, arf!" Teddy barked over Jack's shoulder. Jack ran after Annie with the book under his arm. He ran over the dry, cracked ground, past scrubby bushes and scattered gum trees. Jack kept his eye on Annie running ahead of him. He saw her stop suddenly. She turned and dropped to her knees. "What happened?" he shouted. "Come look," she said. Jack reached Annie. Beside her in the grass was the baby kangaroo. It was trembling. "Don't be scared," Annie was saying. Then she looked at Jack. "Where's his mom? Why did she drop him?" "I don't know," said Jack. He put his pack on the ground and opened the Australia book. Teddy jumped out of the pack. The little dog tried to sniff the baby kangaroo. "Don't scare him, Teddy," Annie said. Teddy sat back and watched politely. "Oh, look at the Joey." Any ideas why the mama kangaroo left him there? Any thoughts? Jack opened the Australia book and found a picture of a baby kangaroo. He read, "The biggest enemy of the kangaroo is the dingo, the wild dog of Australia. When a mother kangaroo is chased by dingoes, she may throw her Joey out of her pouch. Without the extra weight in her pouch, she can leap faster and further. She then leads the dingoes away from her baby. If she escapes the dingoes, she returns to the Joey." So that's a way of her protecting her baby. "Oh, Jack," Annie said sadly. "I hope his mother escapes from the dingoes." "Me too," said Jack. "Hi, Joey," said Annie. She gently patted the baby kangaroo. "He's so soft." Jack knelt down and touched the brown fur. It was soft, probably the softest fur he had ever felt. The shy little kangaroo stared at Jack with big brown eyes, and he trembled. "Don't be scared, Joey," Annie said. "Your mom's going to come back for you." She jumped away from Jack and Annie. The Joey jumped away from Jack and Annie. He hopped toward Jack's pack, which was still sitting on the ground. The baby kangaroo took a giant leap and dived headfirst into the pack. His whole body went inside, but his big feet stuck out. Then he turned himself over and peeked out at Jack and Annie. They both laughed. "He thinks your pack is a pouch," said Annie. "I know, put it on backwards. It will make him feel like his mom is carrying him." Oh. Jack put his Australia book on the ground. Then Annie helped him put the pack on his chest instead of his back. The Joey was heavy. "There," Annie said. "You look just like a mother kangaroo." "Oh, brother," said Jack. But he patted the baby's soft fur. "Don't worry," he said to Joey. "You can stay in here until your mom comes back." "Here, Joey, would you like some grass to eat?" asked Annie. Annie scooped up a handful of grass and gave it to the kangaroo. He munched the grass, keeping his big eyes on Annie. "I hope his mom comes back for him soon," she said worriedly. "Yeah," said Jack. He looked around the dry forest. There was no sign of a mother kangaroo. Look how sweet that is. What a great idea to use a backpack as a little mama kangaroo pouch. But Jack saw something else. "Look," he said to Annie. The wisp of smoke in the sky had turned into a big black cloud. Remember, they could smell something yesterday. It smelled like a campfire. Jack noticed the smell of burning wood was much stronger. "What are those campers doing?" said Annie. "Are they making a bonfire now or what?" A feeling of dread came over Jack. "What if," he said, "what if in the distance a tree suddenly burst into flames? We're looking at a wildfire," he said. Yikes. Can you guys hear the birds behind me? I think they're interested in the story too. They are wondering what is going on. All right, so that leads us up to chapter 5, which we'll read tomorrow. It's called Wildfire. And I can tell that the nature in my backyard is also very interested. So I hope that you guys have a great afternoon. I hope that you get outside and enjoy the sunshine. I loved seeing you today, this morning at our morning meeting. So thank you for joining us. And I will see you guys soon.